Welcome back to Wizard Supercoach. Hope you all had a better round than me for Easter. 2,132. It's not great. Beginning to think that I'm cursed too, because this is the third time that I'm trying to record this video. I got pretty much all the way through twice and found out that it wasn't working for whatever reason. So third time's a charm or whatever. But yeah, I lost 864 ranks. So yeah, just sitting above 9,000 now, which I'm not too worried about, because if you look around, like a lot of the teams that were doing really well, they had bad weeks, and a lot of struggling teams hit some pretty big scores. So I think it was just a bit of an anomaly, and I think it may be one of those weeks, like I feel like you get one every year towards the start where, you know, things all like it's tracking in one direction, and then you just get this one week that changes it all. I think this was that week. So, you know, players that have dominated up to this point, this is where they drop off and we start to see more of their true form. So if you think I think last year Matt Rao was averaging like 150 or something stupid over the first month, and then we know what happened with him. There's always players like that. So this is why it's really important to not be heaps reactionary to the first month or so. Anyway, don't listen to me too much. Look where I'm ranked. So yeah, I'll go through the team, and then I'll go through the games after that. Now, I already did the Brisbane-Collingwood game on the Thursday night, so I won't cover that one again. But yeah, I think it's important to go through the games and go through like the general state of play now, because as I said, I think the game has changed a bit after this week. So yeah, we'll go through this. Now, I got 3 boosts and 28 trades left, so I'm still pretty confident that I can make up ground. Some people have like already used all their boosts, which is wild, but you know, they're probably way ahead of me. But yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so got to keep that in mind. Now, I haven't done any trades yet. I've messed around with a few things, but I'll make a video later in the week sometime discussing trades, because at the moment it would just be like me going through 150 different scenarios, and it's not going to be good for anyone to watch, including me. So yeah, we'll go through the team now. Start with defence as usual. Now, 145, great bounce back from Whitfield after struggling on Norwood Oval, which all halfbacks do. But yeah, that Crom game was ugly to watch. It would have been horrific for a neutral viewer. I mean, it wasn't even great for me, and I'm a Crom supporter, but yeah, a lot of defensive rebound going on there, not a lot of scoring. So yeah, it's a game really built for a player like Whitfield, especially when the Giants' whole game plan really is like get the ball to him coming out of defence. And now he's carrying on with it. Like, I don't understand where this has come from, but yeah, it's happened. We were kind of hoping Connor Stone would be that way, but yeah, it's Ash. So Sheasel 86, I'm getting really worried about him now. I'm not going to trade him, even though it's somewhat tempting, I guess. Last year, when he first moved into this mid-forward role, he struggled, and then he bounced back really well. It's not happening. He's been in this role for a while now. The only really good score he's had this year is when he was at half-back, I think. So can't see that happening anytime soon, but there is the smallest chance that something happens with Daniel, I think, because he's such a defensive liability at the moment. I don't know if Clarko is going to just keep that how it is, because North are conceding some huge scores right now. So I don't know if it would change anything putting Sheasel back there, but yeah, I don't know. Wait and see, I guess. Clarko's an odd creature. Never really know what he's going to do. Zorko 70 really hurt. I'm starting to get sick of his mid games like this where he gets like an 80 or whatever. But yeah, this one really hurt. He was VC, it pissed me off. Lucky Brayshaw saved me a bit, but I don't think, like, people are saying, well, you picked a 36-year-old, you gotta run with that now, which is fine. Like, I agree with that, but at the same time, I don't think his age is what's causing his scoring drop off at the moment. If you look, like, Dunkley last couple of weeks has struggled. McCluggage had a down week after being M1. It's just Brisbane in general. Like, their form is bad. They did this last year. They started out really slow, and yeah, they try and peak at the right time. So Zorko will be fine, I think, in the long term. And that's really like the big theme of this whole team for me is long-term thinking over the short term. So, if you trade him now, well, he's lost your money and he's probably going to pick up his scoring again fairly soon. So, hopefully it's this week. St Kilda give up big scores to halfbacks. So, if he can't do it against St Kilda, then I'll start to worry then. But, yeah, Marvel against St Kilda, surely he gets back. Clark 94, so can be seen as a floor score. I think it's his lowest for the year, and yeah, it's a nice floor to have, really. He kind of reminds me of like George Hewitt in, was it 2022 when he had that really good year? His floor and ceiling is really close together. So Clark basically, I think all year, he's gone within 25 points, like his lowest and his highest. So ultra consistent, and that's what we got him for. That's fine. I don't care about his price if it drops or whatever. Like he's picked to be there come the end of the year. He'd be like D6 or whatever for me, I reckon. Robert's nice bounce back. So people seem to get rid of him for Dacos, and I don't blame him. That's fine. I'm not gonna be one of those people that rubs it in or something just because Robert's got a 119. Like there's every chance that he won't do that next week and Dacos goes big again. So when you trade out a player and they go big that week, like it's not an instant loss. It's all relative to who you traded in, I think. Similar with Davidson, like people traded him out to get Dacos, and that's fine. It doesn't matter that Dacos had a good game by his standards. Dacos is going to get you further ahead in the long term. Zach Reed, 38. Low score, obviously. He's probably got one more week now. Break even of 14. Yeah. Traynor will go first. So these three here are interesting. Reed and Traynor were the ones scoring a fair bit better for the last few weeks. And then obviously they both get one low score and Pryor gets one spike game and he goes way past them. It's just crazy how the scoring system or the price system works. But yeah, it's good. Pryor will hold on to now. Unexpected, but he'll be there a bit longer. So yeah, I think Reed one more week. Traynor goes this week. Now, you could hold Traynor. And is it Traynor or Trainer? I don't know. You could hold him for another few weeks and he'll probably get you like, I don't know, haven't done the maths on it, but what should break the 300k mark. But do we really have time to wait for that slow burn to happen? Like, not really, because cash gen's the biggest issue this year that I'm seeing, and I think he's got to go, and I'll talk about that a bit later. So yeah, Brayshaw with the 120 saved me with the captain score. He's gone 150, 130, 130 or something like that, and now 120. So yeah, really good. He's exceeding expectations. Anyone else that started him, like, well done for keeping the faith. It helps that Sarong cops all the tags too, but round one, Brayshaw actually copped it, but yeah, he's been awesome. Dunkley, as I said, he's been quiet, same as all the Brisbane players, really. He'll come good. We know what he's like, and probably the ironic thing is I got him a few weeks ago because I wanted that player that was going to be like the safety, like a consistent 115, 110, 115, like he normally gets, and he's given me 80s, I think, ever since. So it's funny how that works. Like, when has he ever gone that low for a few weeks in a row? Like, it doesn't happen. And then, of course, as soon as I get him, he decides that he wants to shit the bed. Dawson 113, he's frustrating to watch. Like, he's doing all right and stuff, and obviously that single 60 game, that pulls his average right down, but his disposal efficiency for what he can do is horrendous, and he's allergic to kicking straight at goal. He's left a few 150s out there, I reckon, so he better turn it around, but, there's a lot worse things going on. He's fine. He's number one, I think, in fantasy, so yeah, there's plenty of platform there to bounce back. Just has to correct a couple of things. Chera 110, so stoked starting him. He's 1 point off his best ever average, so yeah, just hopefully he doesn't get injured and I can happily keep him there for as long as I need to. Oliver 91. Yeah, I guess you'd call that like what, a floor game or close to it. What's he had? It's hard with Oliver. Like, he's actually gone up in price slightly. We kind of got what we paid for. But yeah, he's pretty consistent, I guess. Like, that 80 is the lowest. He's alright to just sit there until the buys, hopefully. Certainly not what he used to be, but yeah, there's much bigger problems going around, I think, than Oliver pumping out 90s. The thing is as well, like, unlike other years, the midfield looks like it's, in terms of rookies, it's pretty weak. So the only guy that I trust to actually field every week is Ashcroft. And he's doing really well now, another 89. But yeah, like, there's these two other slots. And yeah, Oliver helps with this because he was cheap. So you're keeping a rookie off the field somewhat. Strange this year, isn't it? Like, normally the midfield is where the good scoring rookies are, but this year it's just gone to shit. Like, I might be having a mental blank, but Ashcroft is, I'm pretty sure, is the only one, like the only good midfield rookie that's, yeah, quite consistent. All the others have had spikes, but they've also had some really shitty scores. So Moraes is one of them, another 30 on the weekend. Interesting that a lot of people were saying he was a must-have. This is why you got to go with your own research, your own gut. Like, don't be fooled when people say, like, you must get this player. You're going to miss out on so much cash gen if you don't. Moraes has made jack shit. Like, what was he? He's probably made 80k, I reckon. 86k. That's not ideal. And he's break even of 46. Like, he's pretty much done now at 200k. So, yeah, if you think that they're not actually going to be a big money maker, don't get them. Lindsay 55, I guess just from the eye test, he's slowly returning to form. Out of all the other midfielders, he's the one that I'm happy to field. Kind of spewing because I got rid of Hewitt, 2 weeks ago, I reckon. But who was to know that was going to happen? So, yeah, hoping this week with the trades, like, number one priority is get Moraes off the field and get a midfielder into here. Because that's where I'm really leaking the points. So, yeah, Lindsay 55, not too worried about that. That's okay. Nev at 40, he's got to go either this week or next. Gross, he's probably wondering why the hell did I trade in a player that I knew was going to be sub. And I did. Like, I still trade him in after knowing. Talking about these guys back here, these three making money. You got Davidson up here. Hall. They're all about to max out or have maxed out, right? You can't trade in 8 rookies at once. You can't trade them in the 1 week when they all peak together, so there's no point. So Henderson was dead, who I traded Gross out for. Gross is going to be a slower burn, but that's okay because he should make enough money that once these guys are all gone, he'll be okay to be the next one in line. Like, it doesn't all have to be really fast cash gen, I think. So, yeah. And then the reason why I put the emergency on him, which is probably pretty stupid in hindsight, I just had this feeling that he'd get on early and maybe give us a 60 or something like that. It didn't happen, but who cares? Like, Nevitt was on the Monday. I didn't really want to worry about him. It probably would have been the sub if it wasn't for Geelong messing around with those late outs again. They've done it like every week this year. Surely the AFL is going to crack down on that or something. It's obviously not illegal, but it's pretty odd. And then, yeah, Campo didn't play again. He's pretty much dead, but that's all right. I don't mind. I actually quite like it, having the loop here. Now, I couldn't use him this week because he played early, but just with the uncertainty of these mid rookies, it's good to have him there, have that. Because you could lose a lot of points on field if not. And yeah, he's got the Sunday game this week, so that will be good. DeConning 100. Pitto's obviously coming at some point. It's just a matter of when. DeConning's getting tired in games, you can see it. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it against Geelong. Like, Stanley's in pretty good form and stuff, but Geelong aren't the greatest ruck team going around. So yeah, just have to play it by ear and wait and see what happens. I think I'm just going to hold De Koning because I don't expect Pitto will be in the team too long. And once they get Mackay back and they've got like the full tall forwards and stuff, I don't think they can really play Pitto. So yeah, it wouldn't be for long. De Koning as well, he showed that he can have some pretty decent scores up forward. So yeah, I think just hold him. Unless you've got like a really good team, you got the luxury of going sideways or whatever. But yeah, we just need to get those rookies off the field because this is what's killing us, like the 30s, the 50s, things like that. Cameron already had enough of a rant about on Thursday night. Champion data were annoying me. Hurts because he's a pod, but on the bright side, like a 90's not terrible, but he's got Essendon this week, so you'd expect that's going to be Goldstein and hopefully some time against Reed. We saw what Flynn did to Reed when he was in there. Even better, hopefully Goldstein doesn't even play and they just put Reed in the ruck. Anyway, Boyd didn't play, even though there was rumours again that he would be a late in. At this point, I think there's nothing to those rumours. It's just people trying to troll. Sorry. These three up here, they're kind of irrelevant now. Like every single team has them, or every serious team has them. So it doesn't matter about what they score at all. But it now goes back to what I talked about in the preseason and a few people talked about. If you can jump off one of these or anti-pod them at some point, you're going to get a leg up on the field if you get it right. So the one that I can see dropping off now, even though McRae is definitely dropping off a bit, like he's getting less of the ball and stuff, Daniel's the one with the uncertainty. Can see him losing that role soon, or yeah, Clarko changing something. So if you get off of him at the right time, you can get a big leg up. It's just a matter of when do you do it and do you take the risk. You're going to have a pretty good team, again, to be willing to do something like that, I think. But yeah, Smith with an 80, I thought he was unfairly treated by Champion Data there. To my eye, he was probably like best on ground or close to it. So an 80 is odd given that he was hitting targets. Normally he's got pretty low disposal efficiency, but like there was a week of, when was it? I think he got like an 81 or something in round 3. He couldn't hit a target at all and he still got an 80. So I don't understand this. Anyway, yeah, at least it doesn't hurt. Everyone has them, but this one does. Still thought a 70. So he had Taylor for company all day, which is never going to be good. And he kicked 1 goal 3, so he definitely, like he missed a real easy one, but yeah, I'll give him a pass because the weather and having Taylor there. This could have easily been a pretty bad score. 70's not too bad. I guess it's the nature of picking a key forward. Crom have had a hard run too, so they had Gold Coast, Geelong, then the Giants. Now it's going to be Fremantle and Carlton. Then I think it opens up after that. So happy to just hold him until then. At least he's not giving me like 30s and 40s and shit that some of the key forwards are prone to. So, you know, looking at you, Kerno, late last year, you absolute sack of spuds. But on the other hand, Pal Pepper, 106 as his second ton in a row. I actually hate to admit this being a Crom supporter, but I love watching him play. Purely for Supercoach, like he's good to have in there. It's funny because he does cover a fair bit of ground, but quite often you see him just like walking around, which is, you know, not usual for AFL players. He's not like the most aerobically fit dude, I think, but because of his role and he's such a physical player, like he doesn't need many touches. It's kind of funny to me that he scored, I think, 2 goals and had about 10 touches in both these games and he's still tunned. It's just because everything he touches, it seems to end up in some kind of score. So yeah, really happy with him, and I'm super stoked that I stuck with my gut after he scored. I think it was an 18 in round 1. Yeah, didn't trade him then because I would have been spewing missing out on this, because now he's got the Kangaroos this week. I'm happy to field him. What's he made? Like, he's still in a negative break even. He's made a ton of cash. I think 130, 145. So yeah, he's well and truly done his job now. And I'll just ride that out till the end, until, like, not till the end of the year, but once he's peaked, then he can go. He'll be one of the last ones though now. He actually probably would be alright in a flex spot if I can get him there. Just because he's kind of like a low floor, high ceiling kind of guy. Not super high, but you know, you get what I'm saying. He's pretty erratic with his scoring. So yeah, Davidson, you'd be pretty happy, I guess, if you held him. And yeah, if you got up to day cost from him, then you'd be happy as well. But yeah, an 82 is pretty good. He's reached the 300k mark. What's he made? 190. So yeah, more than job done. If you cash him in now, probably going to go another week on him. Break even at 37. So yeah, he should get that, no problem. The Giants probably a bit of a harder team to play on than the Saints, but yeah, he'll make enough. He'll definitely get that break even, I think. So that's fine. One of these can go first. And then Hall, so he did what he usually does. Yeah, so break even at 38 now. He's getting close to going. And to be honest, he'll probably just go. If one of the main ideas I have this week for trades, he'll probably end up going. Like, you can still get a bit more money out of him, but you can do a lot more with what you can bring in for him, I think. So he's made 130k. That's fine. Like, still go by the 150k rule. Bit of a dinosaur in that respect. Obviously, things have changed with the flex and stuff. But yeah, 130, that's fine. I've heard people even saying like 100 is considered successful. I don't know if I'd go that low, but yeah, 130, that's decent. And then Cleary, so I bought him in for Stone, and thankfully Stone didn't have a spike score. Cleary's probably going to struggle to hold his spot now after that. It was a pretty bad game from him, I thought. So another must-have, or supposed must-have, that may not make much money. I'm glad I fielded Power Pepper over Cleary, though. That's all I'll say. Some people, unfortunately, like, all the data suggested that Cleary would probably be the better scorer, but yeah, they just got unlucky there. And then Bison Flex, like, everyone has him, who cares? Scoring fine. Want to try and get him out of Flex and into D6, even though it doesn't achieve too much, I guess, because his scoring is still counting. It would get rid of me having to field one of these guys. And because Trainor's going for Carroll this week, I reckon, I don't want to field Carroll at all. So yeah, that's how the team went. The major issue here, I think, is cash gen, same as for everyone else. So when it comes time to do those trades this week, it's going to be probably focused more on cash gen than actually upgrading. If I have to go 1 week behind but be ahead in the long term, I may do that, because, you know, there's Tunstall and there's Carroll. Tunstall's only one game as well, so I wouldn't be going there this week. So it's like cash gen's kind of screwed for a bit, depending on what you've done. But yeah, all the popular options like Cleary, Moraes, Nevitt, they've all stalled now. So yeah, this is why what I was saying here. Like, I'm glad I got Gross, and even not as much for Cleary. Maybe there'll be some longer term cash gen there. So once these guys are all moved out of the way, these like Gross and Cleary and whoever, they should have got up to a decent price to cash them in later. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think of the team and where it's headed. Like, to me, it looks fine long term. And yeah, the 28 trades and the 3 boosts still, that should allow me to catch up, I think. And yeah, I think I forgot to say, but yeah, the other reason why I had to get Gross and Cleary in this week, I needed money. So I didn't upgrade at all, obviously. But this money here is important. It allows me to upgrade this week to virtually anyone that I want. So that was important. Had to get that there, because even if I had have boosted this week, probably still wouldn't have had enough if I wanted to keep the option open to get like a Dacos or something. I'm actually almost tempted to not go Dacos or Butters or Bont or any of them for a while and see how that goes, and just try and get like maximum value on the ground. I mean, the guy that won it last year, I think his name's Joven, he talked about not having Luke Ryan at any point, and a few others that were absolutely killing it above 600k. So there's obviously some merit in that strategy. I just don't know if I have the balls to go there, but I'll do some research and stuff and we'll see. I think just looking after the cash gen at the moment is the most important thing. Because yeah, I can't remember if I said it before. But this is the problem. I just recorded this video and it didn't work. So I can't remember what I said in that video or this video, but yeah, if you go Dacos this week and you break the bank and move your whole team around to get him, it could really stunt you long term. So there's no right or wrong way to do it, just conflicting strategies. So yeah, let me know in the comments, please, what you think of the team and long term prospect. But that is the team. So now I'll review the games, starting with Friday game, the North and Carlton. So it feels like a long time ago now. So yeah, if you want to go through those with me, do that and keep watching. If not, thanks for watching the team review. But yeah, I do think it is important to go through the games, especially this week, because as I said before, I think that the field of play has changed. This was that turning point week, and yeah, I'll discuss that going through the games. So, unfortunately, I tipped North in this game because I could see an upset happening, especially at Marvel, but geez, was I wrong. I had a bad week in the tipping, actually. I think I only got 3 right. It's from Nuffy calls like this one, but that's not Supercoach, so I won't go there. Cherry 144, so he bounced back. I think that hamstring problem is pretty much over now. TDK's not heaps hard to score on, but he's also not the easiest either. So yeah, 144, you'd be heaps happy with that. The people that have held Cherry through those problems, see if he can maintain it from here now. Paul Curtis 88, he's actually done alright this year. I wonder what he started at. Can have a look actually. So he's made 105k and he's 1% owned. So whoever started him has actually done pretty well there. I guess he's kind of similar to that Thilthorpe kind of pick, similar price and stuff. Covered Daniel and Sheasel. What else is there? Simpkin 78. So I had my eye on him. I'm glad I didn't bring him in because I could have done it. I could have upgraded last week and got a value pick, but yeah, I didn't go there. I'm glad. He's going to be good though, Simpkin. He'll be right up around the top 10 forwards, I reckon. He's definitely got a high ceiling. What else is there? McKirch 52. He's horrible for Supercoach at the moment, and people were talking about starting him as a kind of a value primo in defence. Glad I never went there. I don't trust Clarko either. He kind of just shuffles the magnets and stuff. He gives players some pretty shitty roles. I guess it's for the long term and stuff. Some of them I just can't understand though. Like the Sheasel one especially. It feels like he's being wasted there. He's probably the best user in the team. So why have you got him in a spot where he can't even get his hands on the ball? Why is Fisher even in the team? He's injured now. What happened to him? Hamstring tear. Wow. Okay. So he'll be gone for a while. I mean, hopefully Sheasel gets that role, but I doubt it. Yeah, there's not much here. Finno Sullivan, geez, 28. Yeah, wow, that hurts if you held on to him. I don't see why you would have though. Hewitt 171. This one is absolutely nuts, right? So he's M1 now. I cannot see at all where this came from. I did all that research and stuff in the preseason, and never once did anything indicate that Hewitt was even going to improve at all. Maybe a small improvement of +5 or something on his average from memory, but there was nothing to suggest that this was going to happen. I have no idea where this has come from or why, or how is he even scoring like this? We've never seen it in his career before. If you think back to 2022 when he was in his best season, he was just a consistent I can't remember, but it was as I said before, very high floor, but he had quite a low ceiling too. It was really, his floor and ceiling was basically within 20 points of each other. So I don't understand where this has come from. Is it from having Chera back in the team? That's the biggest difference I can see. Let's have a look at the CBAs and stuff for this. So I was averaging 71%. Looks like Walsh might have dropped out a bit, but I don't think that's what's causing this. Hewitt just looks $1 million. Let's compare it to last year. Where is he? So he's had like what, a 3% bump. Cripps has come down. Walsh has come down. And obviously Chera's back. So I don't think that tells the story. I honestly don't know what the hell is causing this. It's got me kind of excited. I think I'm going to go on a deep dive and see what's going on. And yeah, do another of those research videos. So yeah, stay tuned for that one because this has got me really intrigued. But hats off to anyone that started him. And even if you did, like, there's not a single person out there that possibly could claim to have seen this coming. Now he's got to maintain it. I don't think he does, but who knows? Like, no one thought that he would even be able to do this over 3 rounds, let alone bloody the 6 that he's done. So yeah, who knows? He could do it. He could end up M1. As crazy as that sounds, like, he's not going to cop a tag, so what's to stop him if he can just not get injured? Covered Chera, Walsh 107. Like, he's kind of irrelevant now. I wouldn't be going anywhere near him, even if he's heavily discounted. Kerno, never again. Durden 98, so he's another one. He's got the low break even now. I wouldn't be going there. I mean, I easily could be proven wrong here, but he's a small forward. He's got like a pretty bad role for Supercoach, like that forward pocket role. Plus, Carlton's just come off of playing West Coast and North, so you'd expect the small forwards to have their best games there. I don't think it's sustainable at all. So he'd be, perfect example. He's got that low break even, but he's probably about to become one of those Moraes types where you bring him in for that low break even, he crashes back down to earth, you get one decent price rise, and then it's just complete shit from there. So avoid, I reckon. Silvani 93 has been good. If you started him, I think he was like 260k or something to begin with. I think he's like getting up near 400 now. So yeah, really good starting pick if you went there. You had to have balls though, I think. Motlop as well, pretty good starting pick. What's he? I can't remember what he's averaging, but yeah, 91's decent. But yeah, again, like, he's a small forward. He's going to feast on these shitty teams. Will White, I've seen a few people looking at him. He's on his 3rd game for the year, so he's already had a price rise. I think he's like 140 or something now. But again, 3 goals, like, it's not going to happen every week. He played North. Where did he even play? Rotating forward, so he's probably in like some kind of wing rotation or something. Wouldn't be going there. Too easy to have one low game and he's done. Plus, job security and stuff. This is going to hurt Carlton big time. Wiedering, right knee knock and didn't return. So who knows what's going on there. I'll have to look at the injury report and stuff. But if he's out for any period of time, they're in trouble. Because he's been an absolute rock, I reckon, in defence. So Carroll 64. I think he got similar the week before. He's the only one that I'd be looking to bring in. Job security seems alright. I can't work out why Cooper Lord is always the sub or whatever. Like, he just looks good when he's on the field. He's high energy and all that, works hard. Might make a couple of mistakes, but like, who doesn't? They keep persisting with Walsh and he's a turnover machine. So yeah, I mean, I'm not comparing Walsh and Lord as players, but geez, Lord's a bit hard done by Voss there. Maybe it's an attitude problem. I don't know. This was an interesting game. Essendon are going to be down there, I think, especially now they got no ruck. Like, they're going to have to get geriatric Goldstein out there, or wait and see what they can get in the mid-year draft. So Flynn 141. I think from memory, the bulk of his points came from the last quarter against Reed. So, he's not going to do this every week. People are scrambling to get him, and I do get it. Like, it goes back to what I said. We've now got this cash gen problem, and he's going to be a quick fix to that if he can just stay on the field. That's my worry with him, and the reason why I may not go there is just I can see him getting injured. Plus McQualter, you just can't trust him as a coach. Like, I don't get it. He's making some really odd calls. I'm not sure what he's doing, to be honest, at all. Like, I don't even know why he's I mean, I get it. I know he was pretty much the only coach that wanted the job, but I don't get what he's trying to do. Like, shouldn't they be completely rebuilding and just chucking the kids in the middle? But instead, he's got like Jack Graham in there. He's got still got Tim Kelly, who clearly doesn't even want to play. Like, yeah, it's just really odd. I feel sorry for McGovern. He's one of my favourite players outside the Crom. He's kind of just stuck there. He's gonna. I mean, yeah, he's already a premiership player and that, but he's going to play out his remaining years in a bottom team. Maybe that would be enjoyable for him, I guess, getting a whole bunch of intercepts and shit, but yeah. So yeah, the Hewitt 97. I didn't see this one coming. 2 goals though, like, is it sustainable? Probably going to score all right. I wish I'd have kept him. Probably still get him back in as well. I think he's around the 180k mark, but a lot of questions on his body, so I think I'll probably pass there. And I'm definitely not one of those people as well that if they've traded a player out, they're like, oh well, can't get him back in now. Just gotta ride that one out. I don't think that works at all. Like, it's kind of stupid, really. Like, just accept the mistake on the trade and get them back in. If they're the best available player that you want, then just do it. Marich is so frustrating to watch. Like, he has no impact on the game whatsoever. This is where the Supercoach scoring is bizarre to me. So you watch a game like yesterday, Bailey Smith has a huge impact on the game, yet he scored 11 points less than Marich here. Whereas Marich, all he does, he runs to fullback, he takes a kick in, and then he continues to just get scaling points for the rest of the game. But isn't scaling meant to come from impact? Like, there's no impact at all. And I wish I owned Marich. This isn't like me being salty because I don't own him. I wish I had gone on him when he was cheap, but yeah, it's just one of those anomalies and kind of why the game and the scoring system is flawed, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, if you got Marich when he was cheap, then well done. Like, he's keeping a rookie off the field, and he's not a keeper, but you know, you're getting a solid like 80 to 90 points a week that the rest of us probably aren't getting. Yeah, Kelly and Graham, like, they're kind of washed, I guess. Graham probably there for a couple of weeks was looking like he could be an okay pick in the forward line, but now there's been DPP and shit like that. Like, it's the game has changed, as I said. Like, there's new players now that obviously have pushed these guys back. Something you got to be real careful with as well when you go for your starting team. I think, you know, they might look like they're going to be around the mark. They could be a half decent chance to make like top 8 on that line at the start, but you got to factor in DPP as well. Like, it's always going to happen. So then they get pushed right out. Not that I ever thought that Graham was going to be top 8, by the way, but yeah, he could have been an alright value pick, I guess. Archer Reed, this one is so annoying. Like, as if I went Boyd. Reed was there the whole time. Just going to skip that one. It pisses me off. But yeah, hats off to people that chose Reed over Boyd. Yeah, Liam Baker, so he was a trap. I said it all pre-season. He does this every year. Like, it doesn't matter where he plays. It doesn't matter if he's midfield or halfback or wherever. He always reverts to like this 80 kind of average. So, yeah, I feel sorry for people that got sucked in by him being, you know, new role. He was meant to have a fixed role and stuff, but it's not really happening. Davis 37. Can't really go there. There's no scoring power. Again, job security with a coach like McWalter, it's just non-existent. Right, so now Essendon. Nick Martin 145. He's not going to get this every week. Like, he's still playing that forward wing kind of role, I think. Where is he? Where was he? Yeah, on the wing. But he's got that forward DPP now, I think. So he'll probably be up around the mark somewhere. But yeah, can't see this happening every week. Like, they're not going to play West Coast all the time. I mean, Peter Wright trotted out a 145. Like, when's that going to happen? Merritt 106 is pretty quiet. Yeah, he's been pretty quiet overall this year. He seemed to be playing really well. It's just not really translating consistently to Supercoach scores. So yeah, if you paid full price for him, unlucky really. Yeah, Draper going down, that's huge. Like, yeah, poor bastard. Yeah, Goldstein's going to be it, I think. for now. Setterfield 99. He's almost worth going to. Like, wait, if he's got good job security, which, yeah, I don't know. Like, when is Parrish back, Sardis could come in. But Setterfield seems to be doing the tagging and stuff, and he's scoring well while he's doing it. So they might give him some job security, but how much is he? Nah, he's 462k, so nah. If he was like sub 400 or something, it might be worth looking at, but yeah, not at that price. You'd be wanting to get a keeper from there. Ridley's not scoring like he normally does, even though he's in the team. Like normally with him, he scores well. It's just a case of injuries, but yeah, even he's not scoring well. Hobbs 76. That's interesting. Wouldn't go there though. Kako 55. He's done. Like you got to get rid of him if you still have him. But this is always going to be a problem. Like it's that role I was talking about before, that small forward role. Obviously, Pau Pepper's a little bit different, but even him, like, still very erratic scoring. When Kako got that 4 goals and he only got like a 90 points, I think it was in like round 0 or something, or maybe even a preseason game. That was when I decided, like, can't touch him. If he's got to get 4 goals to get 90 points, like, it's not going to happen very often. Yeah, Sard El Hawley, if that's how you say it. 4 points, so. I mean, you could go there, but he's probably just going to keep being the sub. Like, you're going to have to wait until he's not and know the point to jump on. I don't know if it's going to happen. Just avoid for now. So another upset. Didn't see this one coming. Melbourne's been pretty horrible lately, but they pulled it together. This is going to happen though. Melbourne still have like quite a few good quality like premiership players and stuff. So on their day when they get it together, yeah, it's going to happen. Pickett was huge, 134. He actually might be worth a watch, as strange as that sounds. Now, only if you had the balls to go there, but he's kind of like a budget ranking at the moment. So he's 420 something K. He's averaging 102 off 3 games. And he's getting, I think, 57, 58% CBAs. So he's got the same role, really, as what Rankin has. Yeah, definitely an interesting one at that price. One to keep an eye on. You probably have to get on him quick, though, because if he keeps averaging 102, he's going to jump in price real quick. So, yeah, maybe I have to look into that one. These are the kind of picks, though, if you want to gain ground on the pack. Pick at 0% owned. He's like under 1%. So, if you got him and he can keep this up, that's huge at that price. Can allow you to make an upgrade somewhere else, maybe even 2 in the 1 week kind of thing. It's just very unfortunate that it's one of those weeks, like I said, where I think the cash gen looking after that is probably more important. But yeah, again, these big ball picks, they're the ones that make up the ground and can win you the whole thing. Yeah, Gorn 117, so pretty good from him. Especially was up against Darcy, who's not always the easiest to score on. But one thing I noticed with Darcy, he doesn't weigh as much anymore. He dropped 15 kilos or something. But I said this in the preseason. This is why I thought he would struggle to score himself. His strength was his weight. Like, he was just so hard to move, and now he doesn't have that. And yeah, he's fitter and stuff, but I mean, look, he's had 4 touches, 20 hit outs. Like, I know it's Gorn, but Gorn's not the hardest to score on himself. So just from the eye test, yeah, Darcy doesn't look like he's got much impact anymore. So I think it was like 2 years ago, Jack Steele, he dropped a whole lot of weight, so he had more mobility and stuff, more outside game. But then he lost what made him special, like that inside game. I think the same thing's happened to Darcy. So they're going to have to maybe strike that balance there and get some weight back onto him. Obviously, I'm not an AFL coach or into fitness or anything like that in the AFL, but you know, I think it's pretty obvious to see anyway. Bowie 116. Oh, I wish I had jumped on him when I had the chance. Like, I did a video quite a few weeks ago where I said about him, and I got him in my sports deck team and stuff. I'm glad I did, but yeah, he's having a bit of a breakout this year. So yeah, this is what I mean. Like with the Pickett pick, if you can get them when they're cheap and you've got the balls to do it, they can be really good. And like one of the off-putting things with Bowie was that I saw people say that Stephen May being out of the team was really helping him, but May's been back and he's just continued doing what he's doing. So yeah, that's one missed, but it's why you got to jump on him when you can. Petrarca 94. I'm not sold on him at all. Like everyone's red hot on saying he's going to be a top 6 forward and stuff. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of red flags there. Like he wanted to leave the club for starters. So I know he's an ultimate professional and stuff, but I don't think his heart's really in it. I mean, Melbourne are one loss away from imploding again. So yeah, I don't know. I just have a real bad feeling. Like I said, gut feel, always go with it. My gut feel is against having Petrarca. And I owned him last year, and he was pretty good, and then he got injured, obviously. And that hurt my whole season. But yeah, gut feel says no, so I'm just going to avoid that one, I reckon. And obviously, everyone else jumping on it, if my gut feel is correct, then can be a big advantage, I think. Langford 94, really good there. He's gone up in price too much now. Can't touch him. Already talked about Oliver. Salem's been alright. He's too up and down though. I've got him in draft and he's fine for that, but yeah, not in classic. Petty had a good game. I've been pretty critical of him, but he's been playing pretty dog shit for a couple of years. I'm so glad that the Crom didn't give up 2 first rounders to get him. We really don't need him, to be honest. Like, look at the forward line now, and if he was playing down back, I don't think he's that special. Yeah, there's not much here for Melbourne. Yeah, Lindsay 55 already talked about that. Or is it Lindsay or is it Daniel Turner? According to Kelly Underwood. Fullerton, so yeah, I wouldn't be going there. Key forward, like backup ruck, obviously, but yeah, hasn't got any scoring power. He'll be out of the team pretty soon. I think JVR or Fritsch will come back, and that's the end of him. So yeah, Brayshaw already talked about. Bolton 115. He's getting better every week. It could be interesting as well because he started out pretty slow. He's probably dropped some money. Knowing when to get on him could be alright. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really endorse going for Bolton. He's always been pretty erratic. Sarong 102. So yeah, not what you want out of a guy of his price. I mean, it's not the worst, but he keeps copping tags and stuff every week, so he's still fine on the pill, but it's really limiting his impact and stuff. Hayden Young, he's still getting back into it, I think. Yeah, better picks than him. Maybe if he can stay quiet next year, he'll be a decent pick again, but God, there's just always something wrong with that guy. Like, I like him as a player, but he's just always injured or carrying something. Murphy Reed, 82. This was the big miss in terms of the rookies. This has taught me a big lesson for next year. If a team comes out and says that they really rate a dude, like they were raving over Reed, just pick him because they've got really good job security and there's a reason why those teams are so high on them. Yeah, it's not always down to just like the role and stuff like that, I guess. So yeah, big one missed there. Well done to anyone that started him. Ryan still falling. Okay, so Amir is out of the team now if he's injured, right? What happened to him? Right hamstring. So he probably won't play this week because he's pretty prone to that stuff. Yeah, this could get interesting now because he was taking up spot in the midfield. I know Young's back, but could Reed get into the midfield and get more time in there? He's playing mostly forward at the moment. Yeah, wait and see. That could be big. Darcy's going to be heaps cheap soon. This is interesting. I think it's going to suck people in, but I wouldn't be going there. Just based on what I said before. Oscar McDonald, a 50, don't go there. Like, he's not got good job security or scoring power or anything. He was always a defender anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be looking at him. Dudley, they've cooked with the sub-vest. So he's another one. I think he got a pretty good score in his first game or his second game, and he'd be cooked for cash gen now. So yeah, another example of that happening. It's happening everywhere. I hate the sub rule. Like, just get rid of it. It's bullshit. Just go to 5 on the interchange if that's what you have to do. But yeah, this sub thing is just so stupid. Just not even from a Supercoach sense. It makes no sense. Yeah, so now the shit fest that was this game. I'm just glad that the Crom won ugly, but yeah, that's about all there is to be glad about. Tex 100 again. He's another one flying under the radar a bit there. For draft at least. But yeah, it's funny that Kane Corn suggested that he wasn't even best 22 anymore at the start of the year, and he's like top 10 for goals in the AFL. So he's still doing his job pretty well. You're going alright if you're your third forward now. For third key forward is Tex. So yeah, that's really good for them. Not exactly Supercoach relevant, but yeah, anytime Corns is wrong, I find it pretty funny. Matt Croucher 97. Now, why is this relevant at all? It's not really, but there is something interesting here. He only had 20% CBAs on the weekend, and he's still got 97. So, in the past, if Crouch isn't getting high CBAs, he's not scoring at all. It looked like he played some time on the wing or something, just looking at his heat map, which I probably should have shown. But yeah, this was just really weird to me. I was even wondering if it was a mistake, because when I checked the Crom CBAs, saw that he only had 20. So he's got, 26 and scored a 97 without hardly any CBAs. Really odd. Don't know why that's happened, but they won the game. So yeah, really weird, worth looking into maybe, just out of curiosity's sake. So yeah, Laird 95. Again, he's been good. That was a really good game from him, but he's not going to score enough to be like a top 10 defender. So I know people were getting excited there when he was going to get DPP and stuff, but even in his best years at halfback, like when he was All-Australian 2017 and 18, I reckon it was, he still didn't score enough by like this year's standards or last year's standards to even have been top 8. So we're not getting All-Australian level Laird either. This is 31-year-old Laird he's past his best, like past his peak. He's still good, but yeah, he's not going to suddenly put out a career best scoring year at halfback. So yeah, I wouldn't be looking at him for defence. Keys again flying under the radar, so another 94 there. As I've said before, he last year, out of all of this year's forwards, he had the highest post-by average, so 106. And he's scoring pretty well this year. He's currently up around that 90 average, and he's not really moved in money, but there was worse players I think you could have picked at the start, given that he's only like 420k or something like that. Like, I know you want to be generating cash, but it's not always going to work. Like, you do need to get points on the field, and he would have been fine. Yeah, we know that given like post-by last year, he can start scoring really well on big runs. So just a matter of when you get him. If you had got him at his bye last year, he would have been like the pick of the season just about. But yeah, no one did. So it's nice to see that it wasn't just a one-time thing. Like, he was averaging, I think, 63 or something, 64 first half of last year. So if he's going 90 now, he could go even bigger again post-buy or at some point. So definitely one to keep an eye on there. I know it's left field, but again, that's how you can get away from the pack or catch up if you need to. Rankin 86. He doesn't look right still from was it the hamstring or whatever that happened? But this is alright because he's going to come down in price. So again, it's a matter of when you get him. If you don't already have him, you could probably get him this week, I reckon. Miller a 72. He's been good again. Rewarded people that started him. Looked very shaky at the start there, but he's become pretty consistent now with the scoring. Likes to kick too, not handball, which is pretty good for Supercoach. Saligo, another down one. I pity people that got sucked in by that one. He's basically too good on the wing. So out of all the mids, he's going to be one of the first that's going to go and spend time out there. Curiously, as I said, it was Crouch this week, but yeah, it does make for some erratic scoring from Saligo. I think once Peatling comes in too, I can see Peatling ending up with more CBAs than Saligo. Yeah, there's not a hell of a lot here with the Crom. Curtin's scoring badly again now, so if you had started him and then cashed him in quickly, he wouldn't have been too bad. He made a fair bit of money. I'm not sold on Draper at all. Like, he looks like he's going to be a good player. But in terms of Supercoach, even when he gets full games, like I know he didn't here, but he's just not scoring at all. So he subbed out on bloody 7 points, and he played a half a game. He's got some kind of injury here. Left ankle knock in quarter one. Still did nothing though, and as I said, he's been doing nothing in terms of scoring in full games. So yeah, I'm not going to be looking at him, I think, at any stage. He's going to be one that's going to become a really good Supercoach player at some point, but it's not. I don't think it's anytime soon. Skip Whitfield. Tom Green, I feel like he's flying under the radar. He's getting some pretty good scores here. Under 600k too, so I think he's like 570, something like that. So not the worst guy to bring in. Depends what you're looking for. I think if you're looking for like a captain option and stuff, probably skip him. But if you're just looking for like that consistent 110 type player, then yeah, I'd be going there because he's not a bad price. This is annoying. Callahan 116. I got rid of him a couple of weeks ago. I guess again though, I got to take my own advice here. Like, long term, it's about who you went to. So, I mean, I got rid of Callahan. I can't remember who I bought in for him, but it was I think it actually might have been Whitfield. So I'm not unhappy with that really. But yeah, it's still, it's hard to enjoy seeing a budget player like that get 116. And then yeah, Ash 108 again. Gonna have to do a bit of a investigation into him when I do the Hewitt one as well, I think, because I think he's tonned every game. I can't understand Toby Bedford getting all these CBAs. Like, he doesn't get the ball, and when he's not tagging, like, I know he tackles and stuff, but I don't know, he feels like a bit of a waste in there. There's no reason why they can't have him just start on the half forward or something and push up to the contest and do what he does from there, but I don't know, it just seems pretty ineffective at the moment. So it would be nice if the Giants could push one of these other players into the CBAs for him, and then they might become a pick. Not exactly sure who, but I guess these are the things you kind of want to look out for. It's like when opportunities like that arise. They seem pretty set on Bedford though, so who knows? It's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. It looks, from the eye, it looks like an odd choice that they keep persisting with. Green had a really down game. I mean, he missed that real easy shot in front of goal. But he played, this is weird, he played mostly midfield and he still hardly touched it. So, I don't know, maybe age has gotten him and he's been just sitting forward for that long that maybe he doesn't have the tank to play the mid anymore. But yeah, it was a bit of a shock. I thought he'd do well. We've seen in the past that when he does go in the midfield, he scores pretty well. But yeah, I guess time gets everyone in the end. Oh, and Briggs, 27. Jesus. If anyone got Briggs in, like, no one saw this coming. This was ridiculous. I know Rob's restrictive, if nothing else, but that is just insane. Like, I don't think that's really a result of Rob as much as Briggs was just having a bad day. Not sure what's gone on there. Jeez. Yeah, if you let Rob beat you that easily, like, you got a problem. There's probably more to that one. So not a hell of a lot in this game, Supercoach relevant. And we'll start with Vlosten. And I know he's not really Supercoach relevant. I know he's got the huge score here, 165. I own him in draft, which he's pretty decent in, but he's very up and down with his scoring. Can easily put out a 40 or a 50. The reason I want to talk about him, though, I'm not saying to pick him or anything. I feel like he was really hard done by Champion Data. He's either set it or he's got very close to some kind of record for like intercept possessions or something. And he was the best player for... I mean, this is given the best player to Taranto, but anyone watching that game knows it was actually Vlosten. He's gone, and basically the bottom team has upset the top team. He deserves way more than a 165. If you look at it like Marriage, I'll go back to him. He scored a 90, right? And he's had no impact really whatsoever. And a guy that goes and has impact like this, and it's all contested and stuff, and he only gets a 165. Like, for me, he was the player of the round, maybe except for Bont, but I reckon Vlosten, just based off this and all the intercepts and watching the game, I would have expected a 200 or very close to it. So yeah, I'm starting to get very jaded with the system and just how it seems to reward these kind of performances when it wants to, and then there'll be other times where it doesn't. Kind of like the Bailey Smith one again. Like, think back to round one with him. He felt like he was overscored, and then this week he feels like way unders. I just can't make sense of it. It's really hard to kind of get enthused too much with a game where you don't really know exactly how the rules work. Like, we know basically what's meant to happen per action, but it's the secret herbs and spices, like the scaling and stuff, that just makes no sense. I don't understand it. The game is all about rewarding contested play and impact and shit, but then, you know, some of the best players, they have none at all. So I don't know, it's gonna annoy me forever, but it's still the game we love, so I'll keep coming back like an idiot and playing it, putting in stupid amounts of hours and stuff. But yeah, Taranto 146. Can't trust him for Supercoach though. The guy can't hit a target and stuff, so it's just, yeah, it's definitely one for fantasy, and that's it. Nank 96. He's kind of been in average form lately. I think he started off really slow in this game too, and he salvaged it well, but yeah, Wits is hard to score against. Probably the hardest, I'd say, this year. Campbell's not Supercoach relevant, but geez, I love watching him play. Yeah, really high energy, flashy kind of player. Short trotted out his regular 87. It's like he's allergic to a 90 or a ton at least. Like, looks like he's gonna be right on track, and then he gets there and he's like, no, it's enough for me. I better back off now. So that's why I had to trade him out a while back. Lynch actually looked alright. I don't like him, but yeah, 72 is probably about the best he's going to score all year if he hasn't done it already. Yeah, Lawler 70, that's alright, I guess. He's probably done better than I expected he would as a pick. I don't have him, obviously, but yeah, he's scoring alright for someone who doesn't see much of the ball, really. I don't think there's anything else here that's relevant for Richmond other than the trainer one. I was just happy to see Richmond win, honestly. Like, I have a bit of as much as I don't like Richmond, naturally as a Crom supporter, like, there's still scars from 2017, and I won't go into that too much. Just when they were dominant, they were annoying, but seeing the Suns lose was really nice. Normally I like the Suns, but just recently I've gotten a bit sick of the treatment that they seem to receive from the AFL. They seem like the umpires look after them. They get all these like academy breaks and all this, and I don't know, cashing in like pick 170 and stuff, pick 150, pick 140, and then they get like a first round draft pick for that. I know they're playing within the rules, but it's hard to get behind them anymore, especially with Tasmania coming in. So yeah, I reckon that their players, I think they were drinking their own bathwater watching this game. They just look like way overconfident, and Richmond have now proven that you can't take them lightly. They're far better than what any of us thought they were going to be. I was surprised they won one game, let alone two. So based on that, I reckon Uze, it's not going to happen, but he deserves Coach of the Year, because what he's done with that list is amazing. Like, this is a very weak team on paper, and he's managed 2 wins. So yeah, I know it's going to piss off what I just said about Gold Coast, like piss their supporters off, but I don't care, honestly. The AFL is a bit of a joke in that respect. Like, show me one other professional sporting league in the world that has one set of rules for a few teams and different set for the others. It doesn't exist. Anyway, yeah, Rao really good. I still don't trust him though. He did this last year. Then he falls off a cliff. Even though his outside game has improved, it's still not great. You can still see like he's never going to be ultra quick. I know a lot of people say he gets held onto and stuff at stoppages, but also on the flip side, if you watch, he holds on a lot too because he looks like he's scared that when the ball gets clear of the stoppage, I think he knows that he's not quick enough to beat them out there, so he just holds on. And he gets away with murder too, which is annoying. I mean, a lot of these players do. And yeah, back on the umps thing. After looking into it, it's not like it's one or two players like that are receiving all the frees. It's like it's a team-wide thing. Like there's no standouts. Like they're just all receiving all these easy frees and stuff. They kind of remind me a bit of Richmond. Back when Richmond were dominant, like I know we're getting off on a tangent here, but I don't give a shit. It's my video. Richmond, it wasn't about the frees they're getting. They weren't getting heaps of frees or anything. I think they're actually near the bottom, but it was what they were getting away with. They'd get away with murder. They were just always holding on to players and stuff and like tackling players without the ball. Not getting done for holding the ball, things like that. I think, yeah, Gold Coast are a weird one. They kind of got it going in both directions now. Anyway, back to Supercoach. Miller's doing really well. I think he's not getting a lot of attention because people are more focused on Rao and to a lesser extent Anderson. The good thing to see is that even when Gold Coast are losing now, Anderson, Rao and Miller are still scoring tons. Last year, if I did a video on this, if you look at all their scores, when Gold Coast would lose, those three would all shit the bed and get really low Supercoach scores. And usually it was away from home. So, I mean, they've played Docklands and lost here. And, yeah, they've all gotten decent scores. So, I think they've turned it around, which is nice to see. Mac Andrew, oh man, like he's hard to watch. What an idiot. He's got this attitude out there for someone who doesn't seem to be as great as his reputation suggests. He gets beaten pretty easy and stuff, but I mean he's going to be a good player, but yeah, I don't know. Just seems a bit lippy for someone who doesn't really have the runs on the board yet. Don't think there's anything else here. See, Rioli 49. What do you get? Like a 150 or something against the Crom, and then yeah, back down to earth. It's what you can expect. There's a reason why he's got that 90 average. Like he's never going to be a consistently high scorer. And Noble, they take points off each other. So what's this? Noble got reported, did he? Kicking the leg of Ross. If he goes out the team, maybe you'll see another spike score from Rioli, but yeah. Humphrey was a trap. He was all along. I can't believe people fell for it. He's done this before. Has a few good games. The only difference is he looks like he's bulked up a lot. But it's always going to be hard in a midfield that's dominated by Rao, Anderson and Miller. Like Gold Coast are one of the worst for it. Just using those three players. Again, I did a video on it, like the CBA splits and stuff. Probably have to revisit that and see what the current splits are looking like for teams. But yeah, Gold Coast were one of the worst defenders. Flanders is back now as well, so I think he's getting CBAs too. So yeah, it's always going to be hard for Humphrey in that role. There's not really anything else there. Move on to the next one. Grundy 139, he was huge. Not really relevant anymore though. McLean can be good on his day, actually. I remember, like, I think it was 2023 where he went, like, he averaged over 100 or something once Buddy went out the team for the last, like, 6 weeks of the year or something. But, yeah, he's also prone to some horrendous scores quite often. So, yeah, I'm not saying pick McLean or anything. Just, it is interesting how he can put out some pretty good scores when he wants to. Heaney's the interesting one for me. I think we're going to get him real cheap at some point, but I wouldn't touch him until Goulden's back and a few others, because right now it's just too easy to single him out. Like, Sydney's midfield is struggling, and he's the one copping the tag every week. Yeah, I mean, there's others in there like Rowbottom. He's defensive midfielder, so you're never going to tag him. But guys like Warner are just in shitty form. I think Warner, he's a bit of a downhill skier, if I'm honest. I don't really rate him too much. But yeah, I'd be very careful with Heaney, even when he is discounted. I don't know if he's gonna be anywhere close to like a top 10 to 12 mid. What we really need is for him to get like forward status back, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially not with the injuries. So yeah, I think if he's going to be a pick, it's probably going to be next year. It'll be the time to look at him. Yeah, talked about Bice already. Everyone has him. These players are irrelevant. The ones that everyone have or has. Francis went nuts in the last quarter. Makes you wonder why he wasn't on the field to begin with Sydney's forward problems. Probably be putting him on ahead of McCartan at least. Just play McCartan down back where he does best. Yeah, the Cleary 30, that really hurts. Hanley too, 16 is subbed off. I know a few people have him. Abs, I think, has him, but yeah, that's going to hurt. He's pretty much done now in terms of cash gen, so you'd be looking to get rid of him if you have him. Now, Butters 164, like, he's just gone nuts since he's come back. Whatever injury problem he had, it's certainly not harming him at all now. Just too bloody expensive to get him in. Like, I know no one's got him, but there's a reason why. It's because he's so expensive. I don't see a way of getting him in unless you trade like a Primo or one of those like Clary type players, and even then, like, it's a big ask. The play might be to just completely ignore him and the other two completely. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, good game from Farrell. I guess, like I was saying all along, that half-back role that Houston left vacant, that would be kind of split between a bunch of players, and they'd all cancel each other out, like Farrell, Bergman, Burgoyne, Sin, but hasn't exactly happened. Even though Farrell has not scored enough that you'd want to be picking him, he's probably the pick of the bunch, I'd say. So yeah, he's done well. Talking about Pal Pepper, I could talk about him more, but I won't. Rosie 103, so it looked like he went back in the midfield a bit. Still playing that half-back role, so it's a really good role, like half-back and midfield together. Kind of like Tom Stewart, I guess, but yeah, 103. I feel like Rosie's too easy to shut down, though. Like, Jordan went to him and didn't really do much. I don't think Jordan's actually tagging anymore, like hard tag, but yeah, I wouldn't be getting Rosie in if you don't have him. But yeah, he looks pretty good. If you held on to him, then well done. He's come good for you. Here's a guy I wish I had have held on to, is Horn Francis, but then I wouldn't have got Baz, so that's alright. 94. He's back though, I think. Looking really good. He's got North this week. He should get like a 120 at least, you'd think. We'll look to get him at some point. I think he's going to be, around that top 8 or whatever. I don't know. I honestly don't know if he will be definitely top 6, but you'd think top 8 for sure. Like, he'd be 7th or 8th. He kind of needs Port to keep winning, and needs the games to stay close, because he does get a lot of scoring. He seems to do really well late in games, and he's really good at scoring late goals and stuff like that. But yeah, if it's not the ideal conditions for him, like if it's a blowout or whatever, he can put in some pretty low scores like we saw at the start of the year. We come all the way down to here. Roy Atkins. It's nice to see him get a game. Yeah, I didn't see this one coming. I didn't think he'd even get a game. Not Supercoach relevant at all, but yeah, it's nice to see him keep going on. I think he's good enough that he can still be there, like when he's needed, kind of thing. But yeah, just good to see him get a game. Well, that's a low score from Bergman. And yeah, Marias, obviously, I talked about him. That's a pain in the arse, that score. Shit, I just realised this video's gone for like over an hour. I better hurry up. Yeah, Bont. So this was a smacking in the end, but actually, just quickly, the Dogs looked better once Darcy went down. Obviously, any team's going to be stronger with Darcy in it, and it was horrible to see. I'm glad it's not an ACL, but I think they're less predictable without Darcy, so that's interesting. I can see the Dogs finishing pretty high this year, but yeah, they look a different team. Like when Bont's back, he's so clear the best player in the league. I don't care what anyone says. Like, yeah, he's on his own level really. I look at this. This is his first game back from pretty long injury, and yeah, a casual 30 and 2 goals. Like, it's insane. Not going to drop price for a very long time. Kennedy was good, 125. He's been a hell of a pick, actually. I wish I had have gotten on him, but again, like, all the data suggested that he was just going to do what he did last year and be quite inconsistent, but he hasn't. He's obviously taken his that opportunity that the Dogs gave him with both hands, and it's good to see. He's got a pretty good role. Be interesting to see if he can keep it up, though, like, long term. Now that the Dogs are starting to get their players back, he's probably going to see a bit less mid time. I don't think anyone would still have Fraser, but if you did, you'd be happy with that 124. He's just too up and down, really. Richards 119. Yeah, see, he's another one. Be interesting to see what happens now that Bont's back. They're starting to get their players back. Like, what's their full strength midfield mix going to look like? Like, what's the splits? And is Richards going to be able to maintain something like this? I don't think so. Sanders finally put in a good game. I had him in Dream Team, and it was frustrating, but then he goes and does this once I get rid of him. It's always the way. Anyway, yeah, he's not. I don't think he's a Supercoach pick at all, so don't let this kind of thing fool you. Like, look at all of the points that the Dogs hoarded here. It was ridiculous. Everyone was scoring well. English 90. He's so far off his best. I don't understand what happened to him. Is it because the game's changed? Like, any Doggy supporters able to let me know in the comments what's happened with English? Maybe it's like that new rule with the... Wasn't there some rule they brought in for the rucks that would... I think it was going to favour like the more physical rucks. Maybe that's why he's having a problem, because he's one of the weaker ones. I don't know. Already covered Davo. He gets burnt a lot, but yeah, it's the nature of playing the wing. Yeah, that Darcy one's sad, but it could have been worse. It's not the ACL at least, so he should come back before finals, and yeah, I expect the Dogs will make it. There's absolutely nothing here really for Saints. That was just shocking. Like, even McRae couldn't crack the 20 touches, so he's definitely slowing down now. But he's still scoring okay, so that's fine. And to be honest, it wouldn't matter. Everyone has him, as I said before. NASA 99, he looked better than that. I'm surprised he didn't ton, but yeah, didn't have a lot of help. He looks like a good pick. Maybe it's... Well, Sinclair was quiet, so I don't think Sinclair impacts him too much. Nass looks like he's got a bit of a different role too. I think he's playing further up the ground. Kicked like 3 goals last week, and he played some midfield this week. I don't think playing inside mid is a good idea for him. He's pretty lightly built and not very great, or not very good at all with the contested possessions. As you can see here, he had 4, and he doesn't normally get a lot. So it's an odd choice by Ross. But I suppose things weren't going well, so you kind of got to flip the magnets. Yeah, Sinclair really quiet, so he's definitely one that I'll be looking to pick up in the next few weeks once he bottoms out, because pretty sure he's going to be top 6 defenders. This was just like an anomaly, this game. I don't know why he scored so low. Doesn't really say anything here, just says floating about. It's about what the eye test would say as well. He was just kind of there. This is another weird one. What the hell's going on with Marshall? Like, he's scoring really badly. Doesn't look himself at all. Surely he's got to be carrying an injury or something. We saw last year he had a couple of really down games when he was carrying an injury, but yeah, he's had a really shitty season. I wouldn't even be looking at him when he's cheap later on. Not when there's good ruck options around. Who knows? Jack Steele 46. Interesting. Looks like they were just all having a really down day. I think it started because they got flogged in the midfield, but yeah, 46. That's really low for Jack Steele. You don't really see that often. So just when you think the Saints are starting to look pretty good, like they beat Geelong and stuff, and they go back to this, it's pretty crazy. All right, final game, and yeah, Geelong, not traditionally a Supercoach team. Manor looked really good, especially at the start, 102. Not a pick though. Dangerfield 95. I'm pretty sure he's got forward DPP now. I still wouldn't pick him. He's interesting though if he's going to play permanent forward. Yeah, I don't know. His disposal efficiency's always let him down. Like, you can see it here, and it wasn't a problem back in the day when he was getting like 30 plus touches, but now he's not getting as much of it. Needs more ball if you're not going to hit as many targets. Already talked about Smith too much. Holmes was quiet, so an 80. He looked like he probably was better than that, but I think his last quarter was pretty dead. Plus, he couldn't hit a target by the look of this, so that was good to see. So, when you don't... The only player I had in this game was Smith, and I had Never on the bench, so you're kind of just watching for the players that you don't have, you want them to do bad, so yeah, that was good to see. Humphrey 76, I like that kid. I think he's going to be a primo in the not too distant future. No one should have DeConning anymore. But yeah, 75 is not too bad if you do. My voice is starting to give out. Remember I said this is the second or third time I'm doing this video, so... Stuart 64, this was great to watch. Like, I said in the start of the year, the reason I wasn't picking him is if he doesn't get that... There's two types of roles for Stuart, and if he doesn't get the one that has the midfield time in it, he's not a primo scorer anymore. And a lot of people disagreed with me, but I'm standing by it. Like, he needs to have high CBAs, because I owned him last year, and when he was playing pure defense, he just wasn't averaging very well at all. Like, he's not doing all the intercepts. He's not really like the sole go-to guy coming out of defense anymore. I think Guthrie's hurting him, to be honest. Like, he's had a quiet one here, but from what I can see, yeah, Guthrie and Humphreys are starting to take his ball. So yeah, I'm happy about that one. But knowing Tom Stewart, he'll probably go on a mad run now and average 110 for the next 6 weeks or something. But yeah, I've been right for once up to this point. Connor O'Sullivan 54 actually is a good score, given that he was on a horrendous score at half time. He really salvaged it. Yeah, he's done though. I think if you didn't get rid of him this week, he's got to go this leading into this next round. And yeah, that's about it for them. Amon's been really good. So 152. He's been like averaging, I think, low hundreds, and then yeah, to get a game like this on top, if anyone started him, they've done pretty well. Newcomb looks to be hitting some form now as well. Is it a case of... Because I think Newcomb did pretty well last week. Maybe he scores better without Day in the team. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. Meek back with a 113. That's pretty good. Don't know why anyone would really have him though. Nick Watson, he's a hard one to watch. Again, as I was saying about Mac Andrew before, like the carry on that these players have, and there's no runs on the board for it. I don't understand. I think with Watson, it's more of a media problem than anything. Like, the media hype him up so much, but he does act like an idiot out there. So, he kind of asks for all he gets. I'm enjoying seeing the Gunston resurgence. Like even if it's not Supercoach relevant, it's just he's been such a good player, and I liked him at the Crows, and I don't really blame him for leaving too much. But yeah, I thought he was completely finished when he was at Brisbane, so this has been a real good bounce back. And yeah, this Sicily game was very enjoyable to watch as a non-owner. I don't know that many people have him anymore, but yeah, he was horrible, very uncharacteristic, making some crazy mistakes that he wouldn't normally do, like even dropping marks and stuff. But yeah, you get games like that. Ward's last 2 weeks have been quite low. He was one that I'd seen thrown about as a possible pod option when he was cheap, but yeah, he was averaging like 90 or something back then, but he's completely fallen in a heap the last 2 weeks. So, yep, glad I don't think anyone really went there. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, Dylan Moore, 36. He was talked up as a bit of a fallen primo leading into this week. So, I can see the logic behind it. Last year he was really good, was top six and stuff, but geez, just some bad luck if you did go down that avenue. And again, I can see why people would have. That's horrible luck. So yeah, just a real bad one. I still think he'll come good, but his role seems to have changed a bit. He's not being used as much. Like, look at this, 9 touches. Was he rolling through the midfield at all? He was. Yeah, okay. One to keep an eye on, but I'm not seriously looking at getting him anytime soon. So, yeah, I think that's the longest video I've done. Yeah, it's hard when you get on a roll, I guess, but if you stayed this long, yeah, hats off to you. Anyway, as I said, I think this week the game has changed. We can see through the games we just went through there, like a lot of the high scorers fell back down to earth, and there seems to be quite a few who are scoring well now that we didn't really see coming. So I think we got to like adjust. You get to the end of the first month, or maybe like round 5, 6, and you start to plan ahead, and you think like the lay of the land, we'll call it. And then yeah, this week happened, and it's upended things, I think, and it seems to happen every year. So when I say like don't be reactionary in the first few rounds, I think at the same time, like even though things have changed, don't get too reactionary to what's happened in round 6 as well. It's a hard balance to strike. I think right now it's just about looking after long-term cash gen and trying to somehow strike that balance with decent points on field. But yeah, I'd be prioritising right now the cash gen over getting the upgrades and trying to bolt out the gates, because we've seen it already. Like teams have used all their boosts and stuff, and I think they're going to have problems pretty soon because what they prepared for is not necessarily how the season's going to pan out. So I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but I know what I'm trying to say. I'm probably just not good at getting it out there. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough. It's almost an hour and a half. Jesus. My voice is absolutely hoarse, as you can hear. Hope you've had a good week. Let me know in the comments what you scored and what your plans are for the trades this week. Hopefully I'll get time to do like a video where I investigate Hewitt, and there was another one, I forget who it was, but yeah, I'll definitely get a trade video out once I work out exactly what I'm doing, and yeah, I'll see you in that one.